When fans talk about the classic era of Wasp, one name always comes up alongside Blackie Lawless, guitarist Chris Holmes. Known for his wild image, ferocious guitar playing, and larger-than-life personality, Holmes became one of the most recognizable guitarists of the 1980s metal scene, and his story is one of incredible talent, incredible self-destruction, incredible survival, and incredible redemption.
Yeah, you're my guitar story, and we're still being written one by one.
Let's start with the good. Chris Holmes brought a raw, aggressive guitar style that helped define Wasp's sound during their most successful years. From the band's self-titled debut through albums like The Headless Children, his riffs and solos added grit and danger to the band's theatrical shock rock image. Many fans considered him one of the key ingredients in the classic Wasp lineup. What made Holmes unique was not technical perfection, it was his attitude. He played every note as if it was a fist fight. His stage presence was intimidating, and his wild Charvel guitars became iconic among metal fans. Despite all the ups and downs, Holmes never stopped making music. After Wasp, he continued recording and touring, eventually forming his own band, Mean Man. Fans often describe him as approachable and down-to-earth when meeting him in person, a stark contrast to his intimidating stage image. Perhaps his greatest achievement is simply surviving. After battling addiction and personal struggles that derailed much of his career, but despite that, he rebuilt his life and continued performing when many expected him to disappear entirely. The bad. Holmes' career was frequently interrupted by conflicts, substance abuse, and instability. His drinking became legendary, culminating in perhaps the most famous scene of his career, the swimming pool interview, in The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, where he appeared heavily intoxicated while speaking with the filmmaker as his mother sat nearby. While the scene became one of the defining images of 1980s excess, it also damaged his reputation and became symbolic, the darker side of the metal lifestyle. His relationship with Wasp was turbulent. He left the band, returned years later, and eventually departed again. Since then, he and Blackie Lawless have publicly disagreed over numerous aspects of the band's history, business dealings, and legacy. Many fans admire Holmes' honesty, while others feel his public criticism of former bandmates has overshadowed his musical accomplishments. Community discussions among Wasp's fans often remain sharply divided on the subject. The ugly. The ugliest chapter of Holmes' story was the personal cost of his excesses. His struggles with addiction contributed to career setbacks, financial problems, damaged relationships, and the loss of opportunities that might have made him one of metal's biggest guitar stars. The documentary Mean Man, The Story of Chris Holmes, details how he hit rock bottom, lost publishing rights connected to his work, and found himself rebuilding his life almost from scratch. Then came another challenge. In 2022, Holmes revealed he had been diagnosed with throat and neck cancer, forcing him to put plans on hold while undergoing treatment. Yet even this chapter carries an element of resilience, because Holmes continued fighting, continuing to perform and connect with fans who have followed his journey for decades. Chris Holmes is no doubt one of heavy metal's most fascinating characters, not because he had a perfect career, but because he didn't. The good is undeniable, a powerful guitarist who helped create some of Wasp's greatest music. The bad is equally clear, years of excess, conflict, and missed opportunities. And the ugly is the price he paid for living the rock and roll lifestyle to its absolute extreme. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about Chris Holmes is that after all the chaos, all the mistakes, and all the setbacks, He's still standing, guitar in hand, and still playing music that made him a legend. As of right now, there are no show dates, but make sure to check online from time to time. To see and read more about his gear, please visit equipboard.com/Chris Holmes. And as always, I thank you for watching.